Good afternoon, everyone. Today's topic of conversation is, should I track my macronutrients? So I've said it a couple times and I want to say it one more time. Tracking your macros is not for everyone. It is one tool that we have. It is a wonderful tool for awareness, but it is not a necessity for you to reach your goals. So I'm going to go over a few scenarios of yes and no. And then if you have any further questions, I can help you out from there. So yes, should I track? So this is gonna all be in the yes category. If you have mastered the basics of nutrition, you know what protein, carbohydrates, and fats are. You know where to get those sources. You have a good handle on nutrition. Perhaps you've been eating clean for a while. That would be a really good place to start. You already know what you're doing, but you want to dive just a little bit deeper. Absolutely. Let's try tracking your macronutrients. Number two, if you're already pretty lean, but you want to get like shredded, so that's the people that I say going from good to great, you have specific goals, you are going to have to track your macros because you have to be very specific with what you're eating on a day-to basis, really be hyper aware, and also starting to notice, how does my body respond to brown rice versus white rice? So things like that. If you're looking to go from good to great or from lean to like super shredded, you're gonna have to track your macronutrients. Number three, and the yes side of things, if you have a healthy relationship with food and your body. And I talk a lot about this, I talk pretty openly about it because I see it so often. I've had these issues myself, and I know what a big thing it is. So if you have a distorted body image or you have an unhealthy relationship with food, don't do it. But if you're good on all accounts, like if you train to, if you're training for a specific event and that's why you work out, you don't obsessively or compulsively work out, definitely let's track. If you don't have any anxiety around food, absolutely let's track. Now, I will say this is kind of talking out both sides of my face here. Oftentimes, tracking can help you with that because it kind of takes the emotion out of the food and you start to really understand how to fuel your body, not based on feeling, but based on data. And then the final last thing, if you genuinely enjoy tracking, my people who are numbers people, if you're an accountant, chances are you're gonna enjoy tracking. I look at it like a puzzle. You have these goals that you're trying to hit, and how am I gonna make my puzzle fit today? What can I eat to make my puzzle work? And then it's fun. You have a healthy relationship with food, and it doesn't feel like another chore. So if you said yes to all four of those things, absolutely, let's get you on board with tracking. Now, no, if you are not ready to track or you should not track, here are a couple examples. Number one, you are brand new to the world of nutrition. You haven't been paying attention. You don't read labels. And again, there's nothing wrong with this, right? Because you're here in the group now. But if you haven't even focused on it, you're not really in tune with hunger cues. Basically, you're new. You're new to paying attention to nutrition. You don't need to track. You can follow the 5 habits and the My Plate guidelines, and you are going to make a lot of progress there. No measuring, no counting, just awareness and mindful habits are going to get you leaps and bounds ahead of where you are right now. Number 2, in the no category, if tracking causes disordered eating and disordered behaviors, do not do it. So this program is about balance. It is about wellness. And if you have disordered eating, disordered behaviors around food, that's not living a life in balance and in wellness. And I don't want you to track. I don't want it to exacerbate any sort of issues that you might have. So again, I talk really openly about that. If you need to have an offline with me about it, you can. But do fill me in on that because I will support you in every way that I can. Number 3, if you're neurotic and obsessed with the way that you look, you should not do this because again, it's going to make you it has a tendency to potentially make you more neurotic about the way that you look and what you eat. And again, I don't want that. So be really honest with yourself about that. And then finally, you should not track and this is for people who have been tracking for like a really, really long time. If you're using it as a crutch and you don't know how to eat otherwise, or you're afraid that you're gonna gain a bunch of weight if you don't track, that's a really good indicator that you should stop tracking. So just FYI, if you find yourself in that position, let it go. Later on, I'll talk about something called your Dumbo's feather, and if it's a crutch that you're using, you need to learn how to live. You need to learn how to eat without tracking. So if you are still on the fence about whether or not you should track, you have a specific question, go ahead and shoot it in the comments below. And just because you start doesn't mean you have to finish. And I've had people start the program and they're following the 5 habits, but then they see how other people are able to make the tracking work for them. And a couple weeks into the program, they're like, Kylie, can you send me my macros? I want to give it a shot. Absolutely. So just because you don't tell me today or tomorrow, yes or no, that is not like a final call. We have 6-7 weeks to talk about this and work on this. So you'll be hearing from me one more time tonight. I'll go over your check-ins today. You guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon.